All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing from the Charlotte Legends Road Course. Gage Branham and Ryan McDaniel on the front row, Edmund Jones, Jackson McLean on the second, Russell Worth, Levi Johnson on the third, Ed Sr. and David Lux on the fourth, Brian Edwards, Justin Branham round out the top 10, Vern Spring starting in 11th with McRecken in 12th. Richie Joplin starting in 13th, Andrew Thornton in 14th, Chris Johnson in 15th, Matt Moniak starting in 16th, John O'Brien in 17th, and David Holmberg in 18th. The invert really threw guys for a loop here tonight. And turn one, wow, this is going to be exciting. There is the track map. Just keep track of your favorite driver's number and where it is on the track. And this will be a standing start here tonight. Waiting for a lot of the drivers to get loaded up. It is a 20-lap race. Matt Moniak says he is just here to ride around and collect some points, but I'd imagine after that first lap, whoever is still in one piece and right side up has a really good chance. Ryan McDaniel, Edmund Jones, Brian Edwards, and Dave Holmberg have not taken the grid. Edwards, here we go, green flag in the air. Edwards will be launching from pit road here in a moment. And big, all sorts of incidents out of turn 1 and 2. Jackson McLean already around. Levi Johnson has had a problem. Vern Spring looking. Oh, Levi has to check up. He almost gets in there a little too deep. He goes around. Gage Branham, meanwhile, has the lead on Russell Worth. David Lux battling for third with McRecken. Edmund Jones will be making it to the car, but he will be late. Ed Sr. has had a problem. Senior down on that back straightaway, overshoots, hits the wall. Wow, close call for Andrew Thornton. And the leader has had a problem. Gage Branham had opened up a 1.5 second lead as he heads back out to the NASCAR oval, just gets loose and goes around. And McRecken, who started in 12th, has gone to the lead. David Lux now up to second. Chris Johnson up to third. Russell Worth still on to fourth. And here comes Richie in fifth. Yeah, turn 3 has been a bit violent tonight. Richie Joplin has a run, gets past Russell Worth to take fourth. Andrew Thornton already up 8 spots into 6th place. Matt Monty, Matt a little loose out of the turn. Matt currently in 7th, up 9 spots, holding off Gage Branham. John O'Brien had some issues off the start, but has recovered. Weirdly, John O'Brien is in the Woody car tonight. Ryan McDaniel is not. Ryan currently running back in 16th after having an off track a moment ago. Meanwhile, McRecken already opening up a 3.8 second lead. Chris Johnson has now gotten past David Lux to take second. Richie Joplin back there in fourth. Russell Worth in fifth. Now has Andrew Thornton looking under. Andrew now to fifth. Gage Branham has gotten past Moniak, now up into seventh. Moniak holds on to eighth, but has John O'Brien and Justin Branham closing in. Justin looks low and takes ninth place. And Jackson McLean on fire as well, the Legends ace. He drives one of these cars in real life, so he definitely knows how to get it done in one. Holy cow! And a big mess there. McLean manages to come out on top. Richie Joplin has had a problem. Richie coming over the hill. We talked about it in pre-race. It is so easy. The car gets light. It wants to go around. Almost some problems with cars behind him. David Lux has also had a problem. Just a little bit loose. Loses the grip but turns it around and gets her going again. McRecken still up in the lead. These are 34 Legends cars. Chris Johnson in second has closed down the gap on McRecken. And Andrew Thornton in third is starting to reel them both in. Meanwhile, Jackson McLean also on the attack. Jackson up into sixth now. After problems early, sent him way back. And Levi Johnson and Dave Holmberg have both had problems. Holmberg coming across the start-finish line down toward turn one. Just pulls off the track. Levi Johnson coming up that hill into the left-hander. The car gets light. He gets loose and goes around. Looks like Edmund Jones caught a piece of it. Chris Johnson did just set the fastest lap of the race in second place. Now has 1.5 seconds to close up on McRecken. Andrew Thornton in third, 11.25 seconds back at the moment. He was gaining time on these two, but has lost a little bit of ground. Dave Holmberg has gone to pit road. He may be done. Edmund Jones is out on track, but about 4 laps down. Correction, 3 laps down. Thomas, after taking an accidental snooze, I'm okay. You know how it is, buddy. And ladies and gentlemen, Thomas has convinced me to attempt Call of Duty Warzone, so look forward to that tomorrow morning. That ought to be sufficiently embarrassing. Richie Joplin has had another problem. Richie had a good run to start this race, goes down into the chicane, but coming up on the banking, oh, a hard lick. Edmund Jones has also had a problem. Also coming up out of that chicane onto the banking that unsettles the car. He grabs a little bit of the grass, but somehow keeps it off the wall. I appreciate it, Thomas. You're going to have to, buddy. Here we go. The battle for the lead as Chris Johnson has finally caught up to McRecken. McRecken trying the crossover move through turn 3. He's got the run, but Chris has the inside line, and they've got lap traffic ahead. McRecken reclaims the lead, but he's loose. He saves it, but wow, that was a close one. And now McRecken's off track. Chris Johnson goes by. Interesting note about this track, this was actually the first track Angie ever drove a Legend on, as John Oliver has had a problem behind. They head off. Oh, John just overshoots that third turn into the wall. He manages to bounce off and keep moving. Ed Sr. has had a problem. Ed through 1 and 2, just on throttle a little too much. The back end gets around, but he saves it. Don't forget, right after this race, we will have the late models coming to you from Rockingham tonight, as Ryan McDaniel and Levi Johnson have both had problems. Ryan headed down toward turn 1. Just cuts it in a little too much, gets it in the grass, but manages to hold on to it. Levi headed back out toward the banking, but comes through that spot where the going uphill, the car gets loose, just loses the whole thing, reclaims it, and keeps moving. McRecken still has the lead. Chris Johnson has caught up to him. Andrew Thornton is gaining ground. He is 12.5 seconds behind, though. David Lux right behind Thornton in 4th place. Jackson McLean in 5th. Vern Spring in 6th. Matt Moniak now to 7th. Justin Branham currently in 8th. Russell Worth in 9th. John O'Brien, despite the early incident and the incident we saw a moment ago, holds 10th. Gage Branham, after leading this thing early, back to 11th. Levi Johnson currently in 12th. Richie Joplin, who looked fast in the early going, back in 13th. Ed Sr. in 14th. Ryan McDaniel in 15th. Brian Edwards 16th. Edmund Jones, after that late start, in 17th. Dave Holmberg is back out on track in 18th. Hey, good evening, Tina. How are you? Russell Worth has had a problem. The infield of this track does have some elevation changes, and that particular turn has bit a lot of drivers tonight. McRacken coming by. I believe that is Ed. No, that is not Ed Sr. Coming by Richie Joplin as Ryan McDaniel and Justin Branham have both had an accident. Oh, Ryan, come over the top of the hill. Same thing we have seen several times tonight. Justin Branham not far behind, also having an incident. Comes over the top of the hill and once again loses the back end. Edmund Jones turning back off the back straightaway. Oh! Gets together with Gage Branham. They both go around. McRacken still in the lead, but Chris right on his bumper. Remember, after this race, we will have the late models at Rockingham. And from what I hear, that is going to be a close battle. Some of the drivers described it as being borderline like racing at Daytona and Talladega plate racing. The cars are going to be extremely fast and extremely close. The field starting to separate out just a little bit. Kyle Martin, Chris Johnson with 10 laps to go out front by almost 18 seconds over Andrew Thornton. David Lux just about 1.5 seconds back from him. Jackson McLean continues to reel him in, but 9.25 seconds back. He has got a lot of ground to make up here. Good evening, Mark Dantuma. Vern Spring back in 6th, has some breathing room. Matt Moniak in 7th has been pulling away from Justin Branham, but Justin has found some speed and is starting to close that gap. Last time by, exactly 2 seconds faster than Moniak. Russell Worth was up in a podium position the first couple laps, has now drifted back to 9th, but secure in that position for the moment. Gage Branham has had a rough race so far, still holding on to top 10 as David Lux has had a problem. Lux headed down toward that third turn. And, oh, not the first car we have seen overshoot their braking point and get introduced to the tire barrier. The tire barrier said hello and sent him on his way. Gage Branham is around. Let's see what happened. Gage headed toward the start-finish line here. And looks like he was braking for turn 1. The car just went the wrong way. David Lux also had a problem. Lux mixed up coming by, or has some lap traffic just ahead. It's a little too far onto the rumble strips, grabs some grass and goes around. David Lux has gone to pit road. Gage Branham, John O'Brien, and Dave Holmberg all also on pit road as the battle for the lead starts to heat. Holy cow, that got close. McRacken gets loose. Chris has the inside line as they come over the hill. And man, they are inches apart. Brian Edwards has had oh! Chris gives him a little bump. The bump and run on a road course. And you know McRacken not afraid to use the bumper to repay the favor. And Chris gets evasive down the front straightaway. Brian Edwards was having a consistent run, but comes through that chicane and just can't get the car turned. Ends up in the outside wall. That was a hard lick. Justin Branham also had an incident. Justin coming over the top of that hill, gets off in those stripes. There is not a lot of grip and just can't get it woed up for the next one. A close call with the 3 car right behind him of Matt Moniak. That is a battle. Oh, the leaders are around. Let's see what happened between McRacken and Chris Johnson. Chris coming up the hill behind McRacken. They go into the turn. Chris goes a little bit deeper, gets into McRacken. They both quickly recover and get rolling again. This has been a pretty heated battle since the both of them got up there. Now with just 6 laps to go, I'm willing to bet it's going to get a little more heated. Andrew Thornton is slow. Looks like he went off track a moment ago. Richie Joplin in 11th, trying to maintain the lead lap, but the leader's not far behind. Looks like McRacken has been having a blinking issue all night long. Andrew Thornton currently holds on to 3rd, but the Wonder Kid, Jackson McLean, is closing in just 4.5 seconds back. As they come to 5 to go, can Thornton hold him off? Vern Spring having an awesome run tonight. Currently runs in 6th. Justin Branham sits in 7th. Matt Moniak in 8th. David Lux now to 9th. Russell Worth in 10th. Levi Johnson has a little bit of an off track there, but currently holds 11th. Or 10th, excuse me. Richie Joplin holds 11th. Ed Sr. in 12th. Brian Edwards 13th. Ryan McDaniel now up to 14th. Edmund Jones up to 15th with Gage Branham, John O'Brien, and Dave Holmberg all on pit road. However, nobody is officially out of the race yet. Chris has opened up a bit of a lead on McRacken. Chris now 4.25 seconds ahead. Andrew Thornton in 3rd is gaining ground on McRacken, but 20 seconds behind. Jackson in 4th, Vern in 5th. Moniak is on pit. Oh, Moniak has had a problem. Let's see what happened to Matt. Looks like David Lux has also had a problem. Let's take a look at David Lux, see what happened to him. Coming around the corner, up the hill. It has happened a bunch tonight. That hill has attacked a lot of drivers. Matt Moniak out there, looks like he is headed in toward the chicane, completely misses his braking point and missed the chicane. Levi Johnson also having a problem here. Over the top of the hill, and once again, the car gets loose, gets light, goes around. Ed Sr. also having a problem. Headed down into that third turn, and hey, he missed the braking point, but he got it locked up. He did not get to meet the tire wall. Chris Johnson now has a 2.6 second lead as McRecken is using that lap traffic to try and close the gap. Chris trying to get by. It looks like Richie Joplin. No, I'm sorry. He was getting by Russell Worth. Now sets his sights on Richie. But McRecken is capitalized now down to 2.7 seconds. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem. Heading down into the back straightaway. Those rumble strips will just eat your lunch. Given the opportunity, he got to meet them. McRecken has closed down to 2 seconds on the leader. Chris Johnson, 3 laps to go. Can he get there? And once he gets there, is he going to use the bumper? This has definitely been a bit of a wild one out here tonight. Well, it is the Jones BS Racing League's 2nd birthday, so you know they had to put on quite a show tonight. John, we are expecting Angie to make her triumphant return next Monday night. We're putting in some practice laps and learning a lot more about racing in general. And I would expect that return to be in the late models. We'll see if she comes back to the Legends, but the late models a little easier to drive. Chris Johnson comes down, 2 laps to go. Chris started back in 15th place, has been involved in a couple of incidents, but has kept his foot down, his eyes forward, and has marched his way into the lead. McRecken just under 2 seconds behind. Kyle McRecken Martin started in 12th. Andrew Thornton, who's in 3rd. Andrew started in 14th, has fought his way up, looking at a podium finish tonight. Jackson McLean started in 4th, had numerous problems in the first 2 laps, fought his way back up into 4th. Vern Spring started back in 11th, now up into 5th. Great run tonight for Vern. This may be a drop race for a lot of these drivers, but man, some of these guys really putting on a show. And the Royal Archer cheering on Kyle McRecken Martin as the white flag comes out. McRecken just 1.5 seconds behind Chris. One more lap, less than 1.5 miles to go. Gage Branham right between the 2 leaders. Gage moves up the track, lets McRecken by. Oh! McRecken did a drift. But now Chris's lead is 3.2 seconds and growing. Oh, John, I guarantee you she will be back in those soon too. McRecken, despite a valiant effort, will come home in second place as Chris Johnson sets his sights toward the chicane one more time. Here he comes down the front straightaway, and Chris Johnson wins at the Charlotte Legends Road Course. Kyle McRecken Martin comes home in second. Jackson McLean pulls off a last lap pass to finish third. And let's talk to our top three, starting with Jackson. Hey, Jackson, it's Doug. You got me?
How you doing, Doug?
Hey, man, good. Gotta say, a rough start, but a great comeback.
Yeah, I was just glad I beat Andrew.
It took you most of the race to finally get to him, but you did finally get past him.
Yeah, it took me longer than expected, but, yeah, I think it was inevitable.
Well, man, congratulations. It's always great to see you out here, buddy, and a great run, a great podium finish. We expect nothing less out of you, bud.
Thank you, Doug.
Jackson McLean comes home in third. McRecken comes home in second. McRecken, that was quite a fight and some interesting moments between you and Chris.
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate Chris. That was nice and clean. He gave me the bumper, but he knows I would have done the same if I didn't clap the tire wall coming off the chicane one of those times. That's why I got the, I think I was back on him like 4 seconds after he passed me. I just couldn't reel him back in because this right front's a little done now.
Well, man.
Yeah, no, it was good.
It was definitely an awesome battle watching you two go at it. Honestly thought he was going to check out and be gone after he got back past you. But, man, you put up one heck of a fight, and then you guys had some excitement.
Oh, yeah. No, I really did think that he was going to drive away on me, too. He came through the field a lot faster than I did, and every time it said, fastest lap behind you, and I was like, oh, no. I knew he was closing in, so, yeah, good run with Chris. He came from deeper than I did, so that was good for him. I think I just inherited the lead by, I don't know. My name says McRecken, but, I'm great at not, not hitting things, too, when there's wrecks.
Well, you got it.
I don't know.
You definitely got it done tonight, buddy. Congratulations. A great job.
Yes, thank you, and congrats on the win to Chris. That was great.
And finally, our winner, Chris Johnson. Chris, that was probably one of the wildest road course broadcasts I've ever done, and for you to come from 15th to win is really impressive.
Yeah, I did like 150 practice laps before this. I haven't ran Charlotte in a while, so I figured time to clean it up and see what I can do.
Well, you definitely did that tonight, and you definitely cleaned up. You and McRecken obviously had a few moments in there, but man, it was quite a battle seeing you guys go at it as hard as you did and still be pulling away.
Yeah, McRecken was blinking just a little bit, so I was trying to stay away from him, wait till the last 5 laps, and I was going to push the issue, but yeah, we got into it a little bit. I mean, teammates, we race a lot together. We know where we can and can't push it. We always have fun, and we always seem to finish the race, so he ran a hell of a race.
Well, man, great job. You extend your points lead, obviously, by quite a bit with Edmund getting in late. He finished 14th. You finished with the win. Moniak comes home in 9th, so you're definitely going to really open up that points lead tonight.
Yeah, I really needed that. I'm getting ready to go out to Charlotte. go back to US Legend Cars in Charlotte, and so I'm gonna probably miss next week's race. So I'm hoping that doesn't hurt me too bad. If I have to, I'll go borrow someone's sim back in Charlotte.
Well, man, hopefully we see you next week. Hopefully you can find a sim to get in. Great job tonight. Congratulations, bud.
Hey, thank you, Doug.
Chris Johnson gets the win on the road course. Now, don't go anywhere. They are going to load up, head to Rockingham, unload the late models, and from what I've heard, things are about to get really crazy. Stick around, folks. Don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly.